A very good morning to you and welcome to the Morning Outlook Report. I'm Rachel Jones reporting live from Kalkine TV Sydney studios. Now, Australian shares are poised to edge lower this morning. That's following a weekend by Wall Street last week. The ASX 200 is expected to open 4 points or 0.05% lower after rising 0.9% to 7,320.1 points in the previous session. This was enough to end a 4-week losing streak. While the market is still around 4.5% below the August record high, the index rose by 1.5% last week. Now, New South Wales residents are out of lockdown after more than 100 days. At the strike of midnight, people entered bars, shops and even hairdressers. People are being urged to show patience as the bars, restaurants, shops and gyms reopen. Premier Dominic Perrottet says the easing of restrictions was a major step forward, but it still brings challenges. Now, over in the US, crude oil hit $80 for the first time since November 2014. And in local business news, Ampol has entered into a binding SIA to acquire 100% of the shares of Z Energy. This follows the completion of confirmatory due diligence, which started in late August. Under the terms of the scheme, Ampol will acquire 100% of the shares of Z Energy for a cash offer price of $3.78, that's in New Zealand dollars per share. Ampol has agreed to Z Energy paying a dividend of around 5 New Zealand cents per share with respect to the half year, which ended the 30th of September, whilst holding the offer price constant. Moving on. Douugh has doubled its US customer base in the first quarter of financial year 2022. Total customers on the platform in Australia and the US are up 53% from the fourth quarter. Accumulated customer deposits rose $11.6 million. That's up 76% from the fourth quarter. Now, Douugh is a financial technology company. The Douugh bank account and debit card are issued by Choice Financial Group, member FDIC. And over to US economic data, non-farm payrolls rose by 194,000 in September. The unemployment rate fell to a 19-month low of 4.8%. Average hourly earnings rose by 0.6%. Wholesale inventories lifted by 1.2% in August. That was as expected. And US shareholders were The US share markets, were modestly weaker on Friday. Gains in energy offset falls in real estate, utilities, media and tech. There was some end-week profit-taking. The Dow Jones index fell by less than 0.1%. The S&P 500 index lost 0.2% and the Nasdaq fell by 0.5%. Over the week, the Dow Jones rose by 1.2% and the S&P 500 rose 0.8% and the Nasdaq rose by 0.1%. With that, we'll take a very short break here, but stay tuned. I'll be back shortly.
Hi, I'm Sage, and get ready to take the crypto ride with me on Kalkine TV. Watch the Crypto Buzz every Tuesday and join the excitement at Kalkine TV. From Bitcoins to NFTs to Dogecoin and DeFi, we have updates about everything around these digital currencies. Understand the investing rationale and the risks involved in the space with me, Sage, on Crypto Buzz. Keep watching Kalkine TV.
Welcome back. You're watching the Morning Outlook Report live on Kalkine TV. Now let's take a look over to Europe, and European share markets were mixed on Friday. Oil and auto stocks led the gains, while tech stocks fell by 1.4%. The Pan-European Stock 600 index fell by 0.3%, but rose 1% on the week. The German DAX index fell by 0.3% after rising 1.9% the prior day. And the UK FTSE index added 0.3%. That was supported by travel stocks on the news that Britain will scrap COVID-19 quarantine requirements for 46 destinations. In London, the shares in Rio Tinto fell by 0.4%, but BHP shares were 0.7% higher. US Treasury prices fell on Friday as analysts continue to expect the Federal Reserve to reduce bond purchases from November. US 10-year yields rose by 4 points to near 4-month highs of 1.61%. And the US 2-year yields were up by 1 point to near 0.32%. Over the week, US 10-year yields rose by 15 basis points and the US 2-year yields rose by 5 points. Major currencies were mixed against the US dollar in European and US trade last week. The euro was near $1 and 1.565 at the US close. The Aussie dollar is currently at 73 US cents, while the Japanese yen was near 112.22 at the US close. Global oil prices rose on Friday. The Brent crude rose by 0.5%, and the US NYMEX crude price also added $1.3 billion to a 7-year high of $79.35 a barrel. Over the week, Brent rose by 3.9% and NYMEX rose by 4.6%. Base metal prices rose by between 0.6 to 5.3% on Friday, with nickel up the most and aluminium up the least. Over the week, metals rose 2.8 to 7%, with nickel up the most and copper up the least. The gold futures fell by 0.1%, with spot gold trading near $1,757 an ounce. Over the week, gold fell 0.1%. Iron ore rose by 6.2% over the week. Iron ore rose by 6.9%. Well, that's all for our Morning Outlook report here on Kalkine TV. Have a great day trading. Stay tuned for more market updates and economic news live throughout the day. This is Rachel signing off for now.